from the country's leaders in education, health professions, politics, governance, business, law, sciences, the arts, community advocacy, and many other fields. UP is the only Philippine university in the Association of Pacific Rim Universities and the only Philippine university in the ASEAN European University Network. It is a founding member and one of 3 Philippine universities in the ASEAN University Network. UP has international linkages with 350 higher education and research institutions in 43 countries. The University of the Philippines, a leading regional and global university in an environment that sustains 21st century learning, knowledge creation, and public service for society and humanity.
The University of the Philippines Open University, the 5th constituent unit of the University of the Philippines system, is the pioneer and premier university for open and distance e-learning. Established in February 1995, UPOU is mandated to provide Filipinos all over the world access to quality higher education. UPOU consists of 3 faculty offices: the Faculty of Education, the Faculty of Information and Communication Studies, and the Faculty of Management and Development Studies. Explore a wide range of courses as UPOU offers 37 degree programs comprised of 7 undergraduate programs, 2 graduate certificate programs, 12 graduate diploma programs, 13 master's programs, and 3 doctoral programs. UPOU also offers massive open online courses, or MOOCs, through its official platform, Massive Open Distance E-Learning, or MODL. We also have continuing education programs, or CEP, and micro-credentials through its official platform, Advancing Skills and Competencies through E-Learning for Development, or ASCEND. Online learning at UPOU takes place through its virtual classroom powered by Moodle, an open-source learning management system. All the interactions between and among teachers and students take place in virtual classrooms, which have features that simulate those in a physical classroom. The UPOU Networks, the university's online repository of open educational resources in multimedia formats, is freely accessible and open to the public. UPOU's commitment to inclusivity and accessibility has enabled it to serve students from all over the world. By breaking down barriers of distance and location, UPOU empowers learners to pursue their educational goals regardless of where they live. UPOU students are geographically dispersed from different regions in the Philippines and from different parts of the world. As a national university, public service is at the heart of UPOU initiatives and program. UPOU is committed to making education more accessible to marginalized and disadvantaged groups, ensuring that everyone has an equal opportunity to learn. As part of its mandate under RA 10650, Open Distance Learning Act, UPOU collaborates with state universities, higher education institutions, government and private organizations through partnerships and benchmarking to share knowledge, resources, and best practices in ODL. UPOU also provides capacity building and training programs to equip its stakeholders with the necessary skills to effectively implement ODL. The university has played a pivotal role in establishing the Consortium of Open Distance Education Providers in the Philippines, a network of institutions dedicated to promoting ODL in the country. UPOU instituted policy guidelines on artificial intelligence and created a program to promote the adoption of accessible, immersive technologies for enhancing the learning experience. UPOU stands as a testament to the power of ODL. Through its initiatives and diverse range of programs, UPOU makes quality education accessible to Filipinos nationwide and across the globe. With its commitment to academic excellence, UPOU shall continue advancing transformative education by breaking more barriers to access, leveraging innovation, and offering quality programs that prepare Filipinos and institutions for the opportunities and challenges of the future, for honor, excellence, and public service.
Stress is just as normal as any other human reaction. However, it becomes a totally different issue when not managed well. If there is no relief or relaxation from stressors, it can lead to anxieties and even physical diseases. Whether it's the pandemic or our personal issues and struggles, we are no stranger to the stress that these circumstances bring. But how can we make sure that we don't get overwhelmed to the point of burnout? In an attempt to provide a hand in stress relief, the Ugnayan ng Pahinungod Committee on Psychosocial Support and Emergency Services is launching a Stress Reduction Technique series. This will be a series of 30-minute videos highlighting stress reduction exercises. The videos will be available on the Pahinungod microsite and soon on the Pahinungod Mental Health Wellness app.
Good Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of Stress Reduction Technique series, where we will focus on something creative, practical, and relevant. Today, let's talk about mobile photography. I am Naj Onlayaw from Ugnayan ng Pahinungod UPOU, and I am your host for today's webinar. Gone are the days where only those with DSLRs and high-tech cameras can do photography. Dahil halos lahat tayo ay meron ng smartphones, we can all practice photography for professional or personal use man yan. We think we know how to use a camera. We open the camera app, we point, and we click. But let's be real. Sino dito ang napagalitan na kasi masyadong maliwanag ang picture? O hindi kaya masyado namang madilim? O maliit yung tao, tipong hindi na makita ang subject? Well, if you wish to make your picture taking look a little more aesthetic or leveled up, you're in the right place. Today's session will teach you the basics of mobile photography, and we will learn together how we can best maximize our camera apps while at the same time using photography to relieve stress and be your next favorite hobby. Whether it's for professional use or your social media feed, after this webinar, I'm sure every shot you take will look good. Pero bago tayo dumakot sa diskusyon, quick kamustahan lang tayo guys. Baka pwede namin malaman kung saan kayo nanonood ngayon. I-chat naman natin sa ating chat box kung nasan kayo ngayon. I am hosting this webinar from Laguna. How about our participants? Nasan kayo guys? Paki-chat naman yan. Ayan, we have viewers from Manila, from QC, from Taguig. Nasa Laguna din ang isa sa atin. Los Baños, QC. Okay, waiting for more responses po. Maahas, Los Baños. Ayan, malapit lang ang iba sa atin. Calamba, Ilocos Norte. Ayan. We are all from all over the place. Kaya nga, sobrang laking bagay ng ating mga technology ngayon kasi napagsasama-sama niya tayo. Now, dahil tungkol sa photography ang ating webinar, sagutin natin ang isa sa pinaka-controversial na usapin. What is everyone's favorite wacky pose? Naku, parang lalabas ang edad natin sa favorite wacky pose ah. Pero hindi, si mother ko nga naka-A pose pa sa pictures eh. So, A, peace sign. B, thumbs up sign. C, A pose. Or D, cheek heart pose. Makabinishi na ba tayo o makateyong ng BTS? Ilagay niyo yan sa chat box. Ayan, maraming A. Peace sign. Meron ding D as in dog. B or A, dalawa daw, nakaganyan siya. D na lang po kasi BTS. Gets na gets. B, thumbs up sign. C, A pose. Ayan. So, iba-iba tayo ng favorite wacky pose. Sana later sa photo opportunity, makita namin kayo with your favorite wacky pose. So, now, without further ado, let's all listen, learn, relax, and engage. I hope your pen and paper are ready because the workshop begins now. To formally start our workshop, we would like to call on the Director of Ugnayan ng Pahinungod UPOU, Director Queenie Redulmet, to give us our opening remarks. Take it away, Ma'am Queenie.
Thank you so much, Naj. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Isang maalab na pagbati galing sa Ugnayan ng Pahinungod. Nais ko pong magpasalamat sa coordination at partnership with Office of Public Affairs, no, OPA. At kasama po sila sa pag-oorganisa nitong ating mobile photography workshop. At nagpapasalamat din ako kay Anna Marie at pumayag siya maging ating resource person for today, no? At sana po ay marami tayong matutunan ngayon, lalong-lalo na at marapit na ang ating mga Christmas parties at mga reunions, at sa UPOU malapit ng ating graduation, no? Recognition and graduation. So magagamit po talaga natin itong mobile photography, no? Maski nga ako hindi ko rin alam paano gamitin ang siguro yung mga functions ng ating mga telepono, no? So thank you sa pagsalin ninyo ngayong araw na ito at sana nga po lahat tayo ay maraming matutunan ngayon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Queenie. And yan ang wish natin na after today's webinar, makakalikot natin ang camera settings in preparation for our festivities. Ngayon, handa na ba kayong lahat matuto at makinig? Let me introduce to you our invited resource speaker. Our webinar's resource speaker is a licensed professional teacher, multimedia artist, and a graduate student pursuing a Master of Development Communication at the UP Open University. She currently works at the UPOU Office of Public Affairs. Her work and interests intersect art, gender, culture, and communication, extending to her contributions to social media platforms. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in secondary education, major in English from the Southern Luzon State University. She also has a background in campus journalism, having served as associate editor, literary writer, layout artist, and photojournalist for the official publication of SLSU's College of Teacher Education called The Footprints. She has won various awards, including first place in the Cebulan Press Confab Photojournalism Competition and fifth place in the ICCAC LCF Photo Contest in 2017 to 2018. She was also recognized as the outstanding campus journalism program implementer and advisor in the private school category during her time at Liceo de Louisiana. Let us give Miss Anna Marie C. Duria a warm round of virtual applause.
And good morning po. Hello po. Let me share my screen first. Ayan. So, start ko lang po ito agad. So, this topic is all about mobile photography as stress reduction technique. And iba yung approach ko today kasi usually kapag tinuturuan ko yung mga students ko before, we talk about photography. It's photography lang and photojournalism. So, since nakalagay dito as a stress reduction technique, so paano natin i-view yung mobile photography para mabawasan yung stress na feel natin sa iba't ibang aspects. So let's start. Ready na ba kayo? Ayan. So kung ready na kayo, mag-react naman kayo ng heart. So let's start. So I am hoping that at the end of this discussion, ma-achieve natin yung objectives na ginawa for this talk. And yung una is syempre, matutunan nyo kung paano mag-capture ng quality images using your device and ma-introduce sa inyo yung concept ng mobile photography as means of reducing stress and of course, promoting mental well-being. And lastly is to inspire you to use mobile photography for your expression and storytelling. Okay, so, ayan. They say that the best camera is the one you have with you. And most of the time, that is your smartphone camera. So dati, pag umattend ako ng mga talk about photojournalism, photography, lagi nilang sinasabi na yung quality camera or yung best camera na pwede mong gamitin is DSLR o kaya mga mirrorless na camera. So, sa journey ko bilang isang photographer, natutunan ko na kung ano yung kailangan ko nung time na gusto ko mag-picture, yun yung pinaka-best na camera. Kasi nag-start din ako sa pag-picture using phone. And so, aside from portable kasi ang mobile phone, easy to operate, kasi yung mga DSLR, labor-intensive process siya. Bubuksan mo pa, may SD card pa, maglilipat ka pa ng photos, so marami pang kailangan gawin. And it's no wonder kung bakit mobile photography is ginagamit na rin ng mga pro photographers. So, share ko lang sa inyo yung first picture na kinunan ko using a phone. Kung naabutan niyo pa yung Cherry Mobile na brand, yun yung ginamit ko sa pag-picture dito. Ayan, kung may mga kabatch pa ako na gumamit ng Cherry Mobile na brand. Ayan. So, yan po ay kapatid ko tsaka yung inaalagaan ng nanay ko before. And then, yung art teacher ko before, napansin niya tong image na to and ginamit namin as cover ng isang module. And nagkaroon siya ng award kahit digitally altered yung cover ng module na yun. So, share ka lang. But just because phones are easy and accessible form of photography, it does not mean na lahat ng shot mo is amazing na lahat or maganda na lahat. No matter what the camera is, it's the photographer pa rin. Nasa'yo pa rin yung kapangyarihan kung bakit nagiging maganda ang isang photo. Not the gear, not the device, no? So, kaya natin pinapag-aralan kung ano yung mga tips sa photography, ano yung mga rules. Kasi the more na we practice, the more na kaya nating inail itong mobile photography. So, let us first define what is photography. So, photography basically is all about light. To let the camera see what you wish, you have tools, different tools, controlling how much light reaches the camera sensor. Ayan. So, kaya lang, sobrang complicated kapag DSLR yung pag-uusapan natin when it comes to photography. Kaya mag-focus na lang tayo dun sa mobile phone natin. Yung mobile phone po natin, meron siyang maliit na sensor compared sa mga DSLR. Kaya minsan, kahit i-zoom natin siya ng bongga or ng sobra, meron pa rin part na nagiging pixelated siya. So, yeah. Capturing memories, yan yung number one na reason bakit tayo nagpipicture. So, meron kasi tayong mga gustong kunan na different lifestyles, meron tayong mga memories na gusto nating i-preserve, o halimbawa, meron tayong mga places na gustong balikan, at kahit di na natin siya mabalikan physically, nababalikan natin through pictures. And sabi nga ni Alfred Stieglitz, in photography, there is a reality so subtle that it becomes more real than reality. So, example ko dito is yung, halimbawa, may kaibigan ka na namatay na. And then, upon looking to the picture na kasama mo siya, parang buhay pa rin siya. Kaya siguro sinabi ni Alfred na it becomes more real than the reality. We got that perfectly. And we see the reality in every moment we capture photos. Ayan. So sabi rin ni Ansel Adams, when words become unclear, I shall focus with photographs. When images become inadequate, I shall be content with silence. So feeling ko ito yung magde-define sa akin. Minsan kasi pag stress talaga ako, mas gusto ko na naglalakad or nagpo-photo kung familiar kayo doon. And may mga instances na take lang ko ng take ng photos at hindi ko na mamalayan na nare-relieve yung nagkakaroon ako ng relief or nawawala yung stress ko. So, may pakita ko sa inyo yung mga pinoto walk ko para lang matanggal yung stress ko nung mga panahon na stress ako. Okay. So, let's talk about mobile photography. It is the way of capturing images using smartphones built-in camera. So, siguro ito na yung pinaka-convenient way kung paano natin i-maximize ang photography using our phones. And siguro, ang pinakang ano ng mobile photography is it is accessible. Meron talaga siyang connection between the user at saka yung kinukunan. Unlike yung mga bulky na DSLR cameras, di ba? Yung mga smartphones, kasya siya sa bulsa natin. At nagagamit natin siya kapag kailangan natin kunan ng picture ang isang bagay. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, the best camera is the one you have when you need it. Ayan. So, the difference between phones and DSLR. So, mahalaga na malaman natin ano yung pagkakaiba nila. Kasi baka mamaya isipin natin na ang photography ay para lang sa mga taong may DSLR. Kasi may mga na-encounter ako na ganun. Na sabi nila, you can call mobile photography as photography. Kasi hindi ka naman gumagamit ang DSLR. Pero ngayon kasi, pwede natin siyang tawagin na art kasi marami na rin yung gumagamit. So, features like megapixel, yung mga detachable lens, yung matataas na resolutions, shallow depth of field, motion blur, o yung tinatawag nating bokeh effect, yan yung mga notch ng DSLR compared sa phone. Pero may mga phone na rin na may features like portrait mode na pwede na natin gawin yung may bokeh effect. So, hindi naman pag sinabi natin na DSLR pa rin yung magandang gamitin for photography. That doesn't mean you should overlook your smartphone as a powerful camera. So phones are also great tools to get you in the habit of shooting every day. Kasi ito po yung ginawa ko din before. So what are the advantages of mobile photography? So bibigyan ko lang tayo ng tatlo. So the first one is yung accessibility and portability. Ito talaga yung apparent advantage and convenience kapag meron kang camera na lagi mong dala. Next is exploration of new perspectives. Pag maliit kasi yung device mo, you can get into tight spaces. Pwede kang mag-shoot ng unique angles, or you can play with reflections on the phone. Yeah. And kapag phone yung gamit, for me, boundless yung opportunities for creativity. And the next one, ito yung for me is pinaka-importante na nadudulot sa akin ng mobile photography. And I hope sa inyo din. It encourages mindfulness and observation. You can be more observant kasi sa paligid mo kapag ka marunong kang tumingin. So sabi nga nila, di ba, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So gaano man ka-ordinary ang isang bagay, if nakikita mo siya as something na merong beauty, pwede mo siyang picturean. You can always be on the lookout of captivating frames or story waiting to be told. Ayan. So, tip lang din in choosing the good smartphone for mobile photography. So, kailangan nyo bantayan itong apat na bagay: aperture, camera lens, image stabilization, saka yung megapixel. Itong aperture, siya yung nagko-control ng amount of light na pumapasok sa lens ng camera natin. So, kapag may setting yung phone nyo ng aperture, pwede nyo siyang i-modify. Yan, may mga f-stop tayo dyan na tinatawag. And also yung camera lenses, maraming manufacturers ang nagpo-produce ng camera na maraming lenses. Kasi nga maliit lang yung sensor ng phone natin. Hindi niya kaya yung mga high sensor kagaya ng DSLR camera. So the more na mas marami yung lenses, the more na naniniwala ang ibang tao na mas makaka-capture nila yung gusto nilang quality. And then sa image stabilization, especially kapag gusto mo rin mag-video, mas maganda, ah kayang mag-stabilize mo. And of course, the megapixels. Most phones kasi ay under lang ng 20 megapixel. So, meron akong nakita na 26, 24. So, opt for a higher megapixel kung gusto mo talagang mag-mobile photography. Pero kung hindi naman, okay lang din. Kasi sabi ko nga kanina, nasa photographer yan, wala sa gear na ginagamit natin. Okay, so how mobile devices have changed the photography landscape? So, syempre, nowadays kasi, ang dami na natin gustong i-document. Yung buhay natin, yung culture, experiences, or diverse perspective, lahat gusto na natin kunan. And of course, lalo na sa mga mobile first platforms like Instagram and TikTok, di ba, meron na tayong tinatawag na Instagrammable photo. And syempre, kailangan natin na maximize yung kayang gawin ng phone natin. At kahit nga yung mga mundane na bagay, nagiging siyang art, kagaya ng picture na nasa background. Yan po ay kinunan ko lang sa kapitbahay. Pero gamit yung mga editing apps, nagkaroon siya ng dramatic or cinematic effect. Ayan. Okay, so let us know the basics. Ayan. Palalim na ng palalim itong pag-uusapan natin. Pero I know some of you are familiar naman with these basics. Pero kailangan lang nating balikan in case nalimutan na ng iba. So first is, the secret in photography is, the composition styles. So una dito is yung rule of thirds. Yung phone po natin, meron siyang option para i-on yung grid sa screen natin para matulungan tayong ma-achieve yung rule of thirds. So eto kasi ay split into 9 equal blocks that forms a 3 by 3 grid. So ilalagay mo daw yung focus or yung subject mo doon sa corners ng segments where the imaginary grid lines meet. So, mamaya pakita ko yan. So, pag ginamit natin tong rule of thirds, ina-allow natin na yung mga mata natin mag-flow naturally sa picture. Ayan. Ito po yung sinasabi ko na grids. Pwede nyo siyang i-on sa camera setting. And ito yung sinasabi ko na 3x3 grid or yung 9 equal parts. So, ilalagay mo yung subject mo doon sa intersection para mag-flow naturally yung image. Next naman is leading lines. So, in some photos, wala naman talaga siyang line na nandun. Pero, pwede tayong gumamit ng straight or curvilinear lines, kagaya ng staircase, mga facades, train tracks, roads, or even a path, kagaya ng mga nasa picture. Yan, ito po. Ang leading line dito ay yung parang blocks na kulay white. And then, dito naman, ayan, yung pathway. And the last composition is yung symmetry. Ayan, so in photography, yung symmetry kasi has two equal parts that mirrors the image. So kahit baliktarin mo siya, ganun pa rin yung itsura niya. So you can find symmetry in the wild, like the photo here, yung black and white, symmetry siya. Kahit baliktarin mo siya kahit anong angle or i-flip, ganun pa rin yung itsura niya. So ito yung mga shots na kinunan ko using phone. Yung phone ko po ngayon ay Redmi Note 11. So, hindi siya ganun kaganda at promise pixelated siya sa ibang scenes. Pero yan. So best example ng rule of thirds is yung nandito sa, yung naka-collage. Yan. Eto. Yan. Pagka na-stress ako before kasi teacher ako dati. Tapos sa sobrang daming paperworks kasi parang hindi ko na alam alalang unahin ko. So naglalakad ako malapit sa workplace at yan. Yan yung mga nakunan ko using my phone. Phone lang din po gamit ko dun. Okay, so let us talk about light since photography is all about light. So first thing na natutunan ko sa photography is yung pag-capture ng picture sa sunset at sa sunrise. Kasi kung alam niyo yung channel na National Biography, sinabi doon ng mga wildlife photographers na the best time to capture a picture ay after sunrise at before sunset kasi mas natural at mas soft yung light. Kaya lang, mahirap siyang habulin. Di ba? Ang hirap mong gumising ng ang hirap gumising ng maaga, and then, ang hirap din naman na mag-aabang ka ng sunset. Paano kung wala, di ba? Kasi hindi naman consistent yung panahon. Kaya merong artificial light na ginagamit. So, kung nakikita niyo po dito sa picture sa baba, merong light dito sa gilid. Ayan. Ang tawag namin dyan ay Ubin brand. So, nagka-create kasi siya ng cinematic effect kapag merong ilaw. Hinahabol namin dyan is sunset. Kaya lang, hindi nga siya lumabas kasi umuulan. So, dito naman sa first picture, yung dagat. Yan, may sunset. And, and sa journey ko in photography, ang iniiwasan ko talaga is yung midday light kasi sobrang direct mo sun sa subject. So, ang pambalance po dyan sa midday light, maghanap ka ng shadows. Look for shades or parang wag mo i-overexpose yung subject sa sunlight kapag tanghali. Ayan. So, exposure. So, exposure is the key to capturing a great image. So, yan talaga yung dapat natin pag-aralan pa, yung brightness or darkness ng isang photograph. So, more specifically kasi, it is amount of light that reaches the camera sensor when the picture is being taken. So, the more na-expose yung camera sensor natin sa light, mas maliwanag yung picture. And kapag mas maunti naman yung light, na pumapasok sa sensor, mas darker yung picture. Kagaya nitong silhouette at kagaya nitong maliwanag. So sa phone ko natin, dito natin siya ma-adjust. So sa phone ko, itong sun icon, yun yung nag-a-adjust ng exposure. So sa DSLR or sa photography, meron tinatawag na exposure triangle. So mas deeper level yun ng photography. Yung shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. So for now, let us focus muna sa basics ng mobile photography. And we also have depth of field. It is the range of distance in a scene that appears acceptably sharp in an image. So meron na kasing mga phone ngayon na pwedeng gumamit ng depth of field, kagaya ng iPhone, kasi meron na siyang portrait mode. So basically, the depth of field is the distance between the nearest and farthest object in a scene that appear in focus. So, meron po siyang dalawang uri, isang shallow and isang deep. Yung shallow, mas prominent siya. Mahina po ba yung audio? Okay. Okay naman. Parang may nag-chat po sa akin, mahina daw.
Hello? Okay naman po siya sa end namin.
Baka sa kanya lang. Baka sa internet
Opo.
connection. Ayan, kapag shallow yung depth of field natin, small portion lang yung scene na nakafocus. That is why blurred yung nasa likod. And kapag deep yung depth of field, nakafocus lahat ng portion. Kaya malinaw siya. Okay, so learn what your camera can do. Pag-aralan nyo rin po yung features ng camera nyo. Buksan nyo lang yung setting yan. Makikita nyo kung ano yung kaya niyang i-offer. So sometimes meron siyang pro, merong panorama, merong macro, movie, slow-mo, time-lapse, yan, long exposure, dual view. Pero dahil iba-iba po yung brand ng phone natin, so iba-iba rin yung in-offer. So ito yung mga basics. Merong portrait, best for taking pictures of people na gusto blurred yung background. And then merong food, great for close-up shots. Pero yung food, hindi ko siya ginagamit sa food lang. Ginagamit ko rin siya sa pag-shot ng flowers, ng kung ano-ano mong maliliit na bagay. And then macro or close-up, ito ginagamit ko naman siya pag ayokong gumamit ng zoom. And yung panorama kapag need mong i-stitch yung maraming images or need mo mahaba. So meron din halos lahat ng phone ng pro mode kung saan meron ng exposure triangle, yung ISO, shutter speed at yung aperture. Ayan. Meron na rin siya. Explore nyo lang yan lahat sa camera setting. Makikita nyo po yan. Pero kung medyo wala kayong time mag-explore ng phone camera nyo, okay lang din po. Basta yung exposure no master nyo, goods na yan. Goods po yan. So, syempre, dahil maliit lang po yung sensor ng camera natin, kailangan nating malaman yung limitations at paano natin siya i-overcome. First is limited yung hardware, which is yung phone natin. Especially kapag na-challenge tayo sa light. Kapag sobrang dilim, sobrang liwanag, hindi na natin alam yung gagawin. So my recommended solution is make the most of what you have. Pwede kayong gumamit ng mga clip-on lenses na nabibili online para ma-expand yung range natin. Pero kung hindi naman gustong masyado mag-effort, okay lang dun. Sabi ko nga, the best camera you have is you have when you need it. So, kailangan natin i-maximize kung anong meron tayo. Ayan. Ito yung pinakang challenge ko din sa phone photography. Low light and night photography. Kasi grainy, blurred, mas madilim. Yan, kinunan ko siyang shot nung nasa hotel ako sa Thailand. Ayan. Sobrang wala akong makita, madilim. And the recommended solution is use the inbuilt night mode. Kasi meron ng mga features yung phone natin na night mode. So, mas nabibigyan niya ng justice yung mga madidilim na subject. Okay, next is over lines on the digital zoom. So, ito yung hindi ko ginagawa. Huwag tayong gumamit masyado ng pag-zoom, especially sa phone, kasi mas nagiging pixelated siya. So, instead of zooming in, try niyong lumapit dun sa subject kung pwede. So, later, may mga shots ako na papakita ko sa inyo na lumapit na lang ako instead na mag-zoom. Kasi mas malinaw siya para maiwasan natin na sobrang pixelated ng phone natin, ng photo natin. Ayan, motion blur. Ito rin yung challenge ko kasi kapag ginagamit ko tong phone ko na Redmi, wala akong makuhang matinong image kapag kagabi. Or kapag nakasakay ako sa kotse or nasa jeep, lahat talaga blurred. So, ang recommended solution, if merong burst mode yung phone nyo, yun yung gamitin nyo. Kasi magkakaroon siya ng rapid sequence of shots na pwede nyong gamitin at pwede kayong mamili kung alin yung mas malinaw na image. Ayan, distraction and photobombing. Meron kasing mga times na may gusto tayong kunan pero ang daming extra. And people can enter your frame. So, ang recommended solution ay wait for the right moment, especially kung yung distraction naman ay minimal. Pero kung kagaya nito, kasi sa Kausan Road to, na hindi maiiwasan kasi sobrang daming tao, gumamit na lang tayo ng editing tools to remove unwanted elements. O kaya hayaan na lang natin na ganyan. So, i-view na lang natin siya as another story. Ayan. And over-dependence on auto mode. Although ito yung pinakamadali, try nyo rin gumamit ng manual mode. I-familiarize nyo ang inyong mga sarili sa manual or pro mode para ma-discover nyo rin yung ganda na nabibigay ng exposure triangle like ISO, shutter speed, syempre yung focus. Pero kung wala naman kayong masyadong time to, ano yan, kalikutin yung mga ISO shutter speed, okay lang din na gamitin yung auto mode. Ayan, so ito na nga, how to take good photos. So, itong mga i-share ko sa inyo is natutunan ko lang from mga seminar na na-attendan ko and from the experience na rin. So, your photos should have the following elements. Tatlo lang yan. Human, living, and non-living things. As you can see, lahat ng shots na to ay kinunan ko using my phone. And nagkakatula lang talaga is sa editing. So, pansin nyo yung iba dyan is tao, hayop. And yung iba naman dyan is non-living things. Like, itong isa, kalendaryo na naka-roll. And then, itong isa ay puntod. And then, ito ay kamay namin ng kapatid ko. Then, butterfly, tapos bata. Ayan. So, anything na may buhay, walang buhay, can be a subject. Next is action. Ito yung, kaya ang reason kung bakit nagkakaroon ng story ang isang picture ay dahil sa action. And ito rin po yung mga kinunan ko using my phone. Kaya pansin nyo, medyo blurred yung iba. Pero nagkakaroon lang siya ng dating dahil dun sa cinematic effect ng picture. Yan, ito sa titinda ng balot, napadaan lang sa palengke. Ayan, ito. And then, the last element is emotions. The more na natural yung emotions, the more na kaya niyang magkwento kahit wala kang sabihin na description. Ayan, umiiyak na bata, naglalarong mga bata. Usually, yung paborito kong subject, mga bata, kasi hindi nila nag-fake yung kanilang emotions. Saka yung mga matatanda. Kita mo kasi sa mata nila kung gano'n sila kasaya, kalungkot. Yun. Kasi yung mga, madali kasing sabihin na, tawa ka nga, kunan kita ng candid shot. Pero kapag na-capture mo yung mismong emotion nila, that is priceless. Kagaya nung umiiyak na bata, ramdam mo yung pain niya na gusto niyang kumain. Pero hindi mo binibigyan ng pagkain. Diba? Ayan. So, yung last element is something ordinary or unusual. So, sinasabi ng ibang ibang photographers in the internet is that kunan lang natin is yung unusual or unique. But for me, ordinary things can also tell stories. Kaya kinukunan ko rin yung mga ordinaryong bagay. Kagaya nung itong lagaya ng kabaong sa Bendario. Sobrang ordinary niya, pero it can tell a lot. Parang siyang hotel kasi sa mga patay, for me. Yan. Tapos itong pusa na magkayakap. For me, it is very ordinary, pero it can tell a lot. Ayan, kagaya nitong Ferris wheel, mga portraits like this. Okay, next po. Ayan. So, focus on the fundamentals. So, sabi ko kanina, photography is about capturing moments and it's beyond that. So, dahil moments naman yung kinakapture natin, huwag kang matakot mag-take ng kahit anong moments na nakikita mo. Especially kapag ikaw naman yung nakaka-appreciate ng moment na yun. Kasi I believe na everything is worth capturing, especially kapag sobrang mundane. Kasi for me, it is an art. Hmm. Kagaya nitong nagchichikahan or nagchismisan sa money changer. And then itong bata na nagipag-usap sa pare. And, okay, next po. And then, don't be afraid to take as many photos as you can. Kasi dyan din po ako nag-start. Dati nung malaki-laki yung storage ko, parang kada subject, 10 shots yung kinukuha ko or more than that. And practice. Mag-practice ka lang mag-take ng photos. And You can also find different perspective. Pwede kang mag-shot sa mataas, mababa. Kasi yung iba nga humihiga pa para lang makakuha ng magandang shots. Okay, okay next. Ayan. And most importantly, know your device. Kaya sinasabi ko kanina, alamin nyo kung ano yung kayang gawin ng camera nyo. Alamin nyo yung mga features niya. Kasi mas ma-maximize niya siya kapag alam niyo siya. Kasi yun din yung ginagawa namin sa photojournalism. Pag alam namin yung camera namin, alam na namin yung gagawin. Hindi na kami mag-adjust ng setting or what. Kasi praktisado na namin yung device. Pwede kayong gumamit ng HDR mode, kagaya nitong nasa unang picture. Pwede rin kayong gumamit ng portrait mode, yung nasa pangalawang picture na blurred yung likod niya. And then nakafocus lang dun sa butterfly. And always clean your phone's lens. Yan yung isa sa mga regret ko. Kaya siguro ngayon, sobrang labo na ng camera ng phone ko. Kasi hindi ko siya nalilinis. Okay, next po. And learn how to use light. Kagaya nung na-explain kanina, maximize yung natural light, play with reflections. Gumamit din kayo ng flash, built-in flash sa phone. Ayan. Yan yung mga sample pictures na phone lang po ang ginagamit ko dyan. Ito, yung unang picture sa annex building lang to dito sa UPOU. And then, ito ay sa may VetMed, yung pangalawang picture. And then, ito po sa may Erie. Okay, next po. Ayan. Ito naman po ay sa hometown ko. So, yung light lang na meron siya is yung light galing sa streets. So, di ba parang for me, it can tell a story of waiting, ganyan. Okay, next po. Ayan. So, ito naman yung kaibahan kapag ka may flash or wala. Especially at night. Okay, next po. Focus on one subject at a time. Yan po yung ginagawa ko sometimes. Kasi dati, akala ko pagka maraming subject, sobrang ganda ng picture. Pero hindi pala sa lahat ng pagkakataon. So, play around with color blocking just like on the second picture. Yung color blocking is pinagsama natin yung contrasting na colors. Kagaya nito, green at saka light lavender. Tapos, sakto lang na nag-match yung color ng flower sa color ng damit ng subject. So, parang sobrang pleasing niya sa eyes dahil may dark and may light. So, create abstract, kagaya po nitong lights ng Ferris wheel, pero pinablur ko lang din. And etong focus on one subject, much as possible, itry nyo rin na isang subject lang. Okay, next. Camera's focus, avoid zooming in. So, yun yung sinasabi ko kanina na as much as possible, try nating lumapit dun sa subject kaysa mag-zoom in tayo. And also keep an eye out for the repetitive patterns, just like this first photo, yung strawberry, yung dahon. Okay, next po. Ayan, so experiment with exposure. So capture small details and also embrace negative space. So eto phone lang, sa tatlong picture ko na yan, phone lang yung ginamit ko. Etong unang picture ay, nag, kinukunan ko lang talaga yung mga ibon na yan ng magkakatabi silang tatlo, pero biglang lumipad yung isa, kaya nasaktuhan. Ang gamit ko pong camera dito sa ang gamit ko pong phone sa unang picture ay Oppo A37. Yung sobrang luma na. Pati po dito sa pangalawang picture, Oppo A37. Mga kaklase ko lang na nag-argue. Kaklase ko nung college. And then, ito naman is yung JS Prom ng kapatid ko. So, Oppo A37 pong ginamit mobile po. Ayan. Next po. And so, don't be afraid to edit. There are some that is saying na ayaw nila kapag edited yung picture. Siguro pagka manipulated siya. So magkaiba naman kasi yung photo manipulation sa photo editing. Ang photo editing kasi ay kapartner na talaga ng photography. So you can use editing apps like Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom, Snapseed, VS Cam, VSCO Cam. Yan. So, yan pong tatlo yung ginagamit. So, yung unang picture is post-process siya using Lightroom. Ayan. Sa Paresan sa Thailand. And then, yung pangalawang picture ay sa taas po ng UPD. And then, ito ay sa bus. BS Cam naman po yung ginamit kong editing app. Next po. Ayan. Ayan. Yan yung mga photo walks na ginagawa ko pag na-stress ako sa workplace ko before. Gumagamit din po ako ng iba't ibang, nag-experiment din ako ng iba't ibang color gradings. Kagaya dito sa first collage na meron. Kung mapapansin nyo, merong common color, which is kulay pink. So, yun yung mga lights ng sasakyan, ng tindahan. And then sa pangalawang picture, parang orange and teal, yung familiar na color. By the way, phone lang din po yung ginamit ko dun, which is Redmi Note. Okay, next po. Framing. Ayan. Ito talaga yung pinagpapasalamat ko sa mga inatendan kong seminar kasi natuto ako mag-frame. I use natural frames like windows, pwedeng doorways, tree branches, o kaya baso to enclose our subject. Ayan. So, dun sa unang picture, obviously, bintana yung ginamit. Sa pangalawang picture, dyaryo po yan na pinunit. And then, sa pangatlong picture ay yung kamay ko. Ginanto ko lang po yan sa camera ng phone ko. And then, itong fourth picture, ito yung sinabi sa introduction sa akin kanina, na nanalo ko ng first place sa press confab. Ayun po yun. Dahon po yung ginamit ko na frame. Parang naka-frame na heart. And then sa fifth photo is, hindi ko alam yung tawag sa bilog na yun. Pero yun. And then dito po sa last photo is yung kamay ko ulit na nakaganon. Ayan. Framing. Next po. You can also use poste sa pag-frame ng subject. And the next one, ito po, butas sa pader. Ayan yung ginamit kong frame sa photo na yan. Yan naman po yung nanalo as fifth place sa ICCAC sa competition namin ng college. Ayan. Next po. Kung familiar po kayo sa Strasuk competition, ang alam ko kasali din ng UP. So, dun po siya nanalo last 2018. And you should also try minimalism. So sometimes less is more. Kapag mas marami tayong nakikitang blank spaces, mas lililid yung mata natin doon sa subject. Ayan. Kagaya nung nasa first picture, iPhone naman po ang gamit dyan. Dito sa dalawang picture ay Oppo OLED, Oppo A37. Ayan. Next. Ayan, shadows. Isa rin po yan sa favorite kong subject, ang shadows. Ayan, mahilig ako maglaro ng anino when it comes to photographs. Ayan, yung first picture ay mobile phone din po yung ginamit. Actually, silang tatlo, mobile phone. Yung unang picture ay nasaktuhan lang na kaklase ko. Nakaharang siya dun sa pinipicturan ko na reflection ng bintana. Ayan. And then, ito namang second picture is merong bubble. Tapos parang ang story namin dyan ay reaching out pero hindi ma-reach. And then, sa pangatlong picture, ako po yan, may hawak na gitara for reflection ng aking anime. Okay, next po. Ayan, tapos, nabanggit kanina na sa photojournalism po talaga ako nagtuturo ng picture ako. And nung pandemic, marami kaming sinalihan na photo contest, yung mga students ko. And ito po yung isa doon sa entry, Light in the Midst of Darkness in the Time of Pandemic. So, shadow din po yung ginamit na. And lucky nanalo siya as third place. So, kung papansin niyo po, isa lang yung totoong subject dyan, yung bata. Pero the rest ay shadow. Next po. Ayan. And lastly, siyempre, sa photography, you should tell a story. Hindi ka lang basta nagpipicture. Pwedeng yung picture ang magkwento para sa'yo. That is why, yung mga pictures ko nung na-stress ako, may mga nagre-reply doon ng mga students na ang ganda daw or parang ang simple pero may dating. Pero may story silang napoportray sa utak nila. Ayan. Kung makikita nyo dito sa ibang pictures, yung emotion nitong nasa third picture, malalaman mo na kung anong pwedeng problemado siya, pwedeng dismayado or something. Di ba? People can tell a story from that photograph. Sabi nga nila, let the photo speaks for you. Ayan. Ito naman, pwedeng hayop, shadows again. Next thought. Ayan, so editing apps, share ko sa inyo yung mga ginamit ko dun sa mga picture na yan. VS Cocam, meron din sa iPhone and Android. Snapseed, Instagram, Moment, Lightroom, and Photofields. So ngayon, ang mas ginagamit ko na lang talaga ay Instagram, Snapseed, at saka yung Lightroom. Ayan. Sa Lightroom kasi, pwede mong i-modify ang exposure, color grade, color ng mga pictures. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo kanina, merong mga familiar colors doon sa pictures ay dahil dito to sa light. Ayan. Next. Next po. Ayan. Kaya lang, etong editing ng photos, ibang part pa to na dapat pag-aralan. Hindi siya magkakasya if ituturo ko nun. Pero yung basic steps na need yung matutunan upon editing pictures is cropping, brightness, and contrast. And tips, don't over-edit. Kasi nangyari sa akin yan, sobrang edited ng picture, nagmukhang anime or cartoon. Keep it natural. Yan. Okay, next po. Ayan. So, dahil nga, ang pinaka-reason talaga ng discussion na to is gamitin yung mobile photography as stress reduction technique. Yun yung pwede nating ma-unfold within this. Okay, next po. So, first one is it encourages mindfulness, live in the moment, and slow down. Kasi minsan, yung mobile photography, especially kapag nagpa-photo walk ka or nag-picture ka ng mga bagay-bagay, you became observant. Papansin mo yung details like light, colors, texture, or patterns. So somehow, nasi-shift yung attention natin away from the stressors. And ina-anchor niya tayo sa present moment. At yun yung natutunan ko sa photography. Live in the now or live in the moment. Kasi kapag iisipin ko yung mga bagay na nakapag-stress sa akin at kapag niromanticize ko siya, mas magiging negative yung effect niya sa akin. So, pwede niyong giyahin, pwede niyong manahin if ever. And also sa slowing down, capturing photos kasi can encourage you to pause and appreciate the beauty in everyday life. At somehow, nakakakalma po siya for me. Ayun. Okay, next. And it also provides a creative outlet. Kasi pwede nating i-turn yung emotion natin into an art and we can use our freedom to experiment. Ayan. Marami kasi tayong creative juices na naiisip pero hindi natin siya ma-divert into something. So why not i-divert natin yung creativity natin into photography? Malay nyo, mag-enjoy din kayo at maging stress reliever nyo din yung photography. Okay, next po. It also enhances social connection, sharing and validation yan, community engagement. Meron po akong Instagram na ang pinapost ko lang ay mga photos ng kung ano-ano. Tapos iba pa yung personal account. So somehow, kapag may mga nagko-comment or may nagla-likes, parang nafe-feel ko na may nakaka-appreciate. At kapag nangyayari yun, parang kahit papano, nafe-feel ko na hindi, parang nawala yung stress ko. Kasi nasi-share ko kung ano yung fruit ng stress ko. Parang ganun. Ayan. Lalo na kapag may mga feedback na, hala, ang ganda, ang cute ng mga photos, ganyan. So, mas nagiging less yung pagiging malungkot ko that moment. Okay, next po. Ayan. So, instant gratification and accessibility. So, huwag kayong matakot na mag-receive ng compliment at saka magbigay ng compliment kasi it will provide instant mood boost. Ayan. So, minsan kapag kami nagsasabi na, ang ganda ng kuha mo sa akin, ang ganda mo, parang masaya na ako, wala, hindi ko na naisip yung mga bagay na nakapagpalungkot sa akin. So, we just, ano yun, parang meron tayong iba't ibang bagay na pwedeng gawin para mawala yung stress natin. And hindi naman ibig sabihin nun ay ini-invalidate na natin yung pagiging stress ng isang tao. It's just that kailangan natin ng distraction from that stress. And lastly is it acts as a digital journal. So dati, sobrang effort ng tao na talagang piniprint ko yung mga photos na nakita nyo kanina and then dinidikit ko yan sa notebook. Tsaka ako nagsusulat. Dinodocument ko talaga yung day-to-day experience. Kaya lang, nawalan ako ng printer. Kaya sa phone na lang, sa notes. Yun yung ginagawa ko ng digital journal. Ayan. Next po. Tapos na yata. So, knowing the rules, knowing the tips, knowing lahat ng tinuro ko sa inyo, you can bend it only if you have learned them. And break the rules only if you have mastered them. Kasi ngayon, yung grid lines na sinasabi ko kanina, yung rule of thirds, hindi ko na siya ginagamit ngayon. Kasi parang na-master ko na siya or parang nakikita ko na siya kahit wala na yung lines na yun. Pero, if nagsisimula pa lang kayo, or if interested kayo in turning your stress into an art, pwede niyo pong gamitin. Okay, next po. Ayan. Inspiration is everywhere. Take your phone for a photo walk and look for beauty where you are. Lagi akong sinasabi na ordinary things can also tell a story. You don't have to take you don't have to take photos na sobrang unusual, sobrang unique. Naghahanap kasi tayo minsan ng sobrang unique, sobrang ganda. Pero na-skip natin yung mga ordinary things. Kung mapapansin niyo yung mga shots ko kanina na pinakita sobrang ordinary lang ng mga naglalarong bata, tindahan, or highway, bubong, or kapitbahay, mga bahay ng kapitbahay. Pero nagkakaroon siya ng cinematic effect dahil nandun yung dedication at inspiration. Ayan. And yan na po yung last slide. And thank you for listening. Let us connect. Ayan. Ito yung Instagram na sinasabi ko. Pwede nyo i-visit. May mga photos. And yeah. Thank you po. Thank you for listening. Sana may natutunan po kayo.
Ayan, thank you so much, Miss Amari, for that very, very personal and very informative na presentation. Marami kaming natutunan, pero ako ang favorite takeaway ko siguro, yung napapractice nating maging mindful at observant and appreciative dun sa mga mundane o mga ordinaryong bagay na pwede naman nating i-turn into art. And ayun, malaking bagay ang mobile photography. Para doon sa no, sa pagli-live in the moment nga. Sometimes kapag nabibigatan tayo is because of the things that happened in the past or because of the worries that we have for the future. But when you're taking photos, when you walk yung pinapractice po ni Miss Amaria, no, yung photo walk, you learn to practice to live in the moment muna. Marami siyang shinare na photos kanina na aksidente niya lang na nakuha, na biglang may ganito kasing ilaw, may gantong shadow. So yung mga ganong bagay, mapapractice mo siya if you live in the present muna. Dead ba muna sa past, dead ba muna sa future, dito muna tayo sa present. Ayan. And now, sure ako maraming curiosities at gusto pang mapalawak ng ating participants ang kanilang mga nalalaman. So let's move on to the open forum where we encourage our viewers, our participants to send their questions or comments. Ayan. So, kanina, meron akong nakitang question. Natanong ko din siya sa katabi ko dito sa office, ano? Kasi madalas, pag nag-photo walk po tayo, syempre, hindi naman all the time na kilala natin kung sino yung kinukunan natin. Sometimes we visit communities na hindi tayo familiar din. So, ang tanong po dito ni Genevieve Aguinaldo, sa pagkuha ng pictures ng tao, nagpapaalam pa din po ba kayo bago mag-take ng pictures?
Yes. Pero, after na makunan. Kasi kapag nagpaalam ka sa kanila na kukunan ko kayo ng picture, nako-confuse agad yung subject mo na nahihinder niya maglabas ng natural emotions. Pero ang ginagawa ko, picture lang ako ng picture. And then pag may napili na ako na ipopost ko or i-share ko, pinapakita ko dun sa subject. Sabihin ko na, hello, nakunan kita ng picture, pwede ko ba itong i-post? Pwede bang malaman yung name mo? Pwede ba rin ako i-follow para makita mo yung picture mo? So, yung ganun. Ayan. Pero, magkaiba kasi yung sa mga creative pictures, sa mga institution pictures, diba? So, sa institution kasi kailangan ng papel. Pero kung ikaw lang naman at discretion mo na kung gusto mo may document, gusto mo may papel, o kaya ipakilala mo na lang, magpakilala ka na lang as a photographer and why you're doing that. And kung payag sila, may experience ako na hindi siya pumayag na i-post. So, dinilit ko na. And mas marami naman yung pumayag na natuwa, nagandahan. So, yun. Some of them, friends ko sa Facebook. Hindi ko naman kilala, pero nandun. Ayun.
Thank you po. Ay, malaking bagay yung consent, ano, lalo na kung isi-share natin siya sa social media din. And kapag mga bata, yung mga pinipicturan, and so consent is the key. Thank you po. Another question is, what are some basics or tips in taking group pictures po? Ayan, dahil meron tayong graduation, paparating mga Christmas events. Ayan po.
So, sa group pictures, ang napapansin ko dito, yung iba kasi, laging tagilid yung picture nila pag group photo. So, ang gagawin niyo po, ito papakita ko sa phone. Pwede niyong gamitin yung, wait lang. Pwede niyong pong gamitin yung 0.6. Ayan, eto, nandito siya. Yung 0.6. Para kita lahat. Especially pagka marami kayo. Or, yun nga, sabi ko kanina, huwag kayo mag-zoom. So, basically, ito na lang po yung pwede niyong gamitin. Tapos, make sure na straight. Huwag po yung tagilid. Kasi yung iba, napapansin ko kasi nung last year sa graduation, yung iba, ganito sila mag-picture, nakatagilid, kaya nakaganito. So, laging straight, laging nakaganyan lang. Nakaganto lang.
Ayan po. So, keep it straight, guys. Tapos, ano po yung ba yun, yung parang pang-stabilize? Kasi syempre yung iba shaky hands eh, pag pagpipicture. Paano po kaya ang pwede nating solusyon doon?
Ayun, meron na ngayon sa Shopee, actually, or sa TikTok shop, ng mga tripod na pwedeng gamitin. Yung brand is Octopus. Ayan. So, pwede niyo siyang gamitin para hindi shaky or hindi rin blurred yung mga group photos. Ayan. Lalagay niyo lang siya. Hindi ko alam kung uso pa yung monopod, pero pwede rin yun. Kasi since mas mura din siya.
And so, hanap tayo ng iba pang tools para maano yung shaky hands. Ito, merong related siguro sa photojournalism at bilang expert ang ating resource speaker sa photojorn. Ano daw po ang inyong say sa mobile photography being added to journalism events ng DepEd?
Actually, sobrang personal opinion is luma na kasi yung mga ginagamit na guidelines sa photojournalism. Kasi may moment na yung mga students ko, hindi sila nakapasok kasi DSLR yung camera nila. Ang record pala ay point and shoot, which is mga digital camera na walang high-end na features. So, what is my say on mobile photography added to journalism events ng DepEd? I think kailangan natin na makasabay sa kung ano yung puso ngayon at yun sa mga students natin. Lalo na ano yung mas accessible sa kanila. Mas accessible sa kanila yung phone. So, pwede natin gamitin yung phone as a tool for photojournalism since most of the students are taking photos naman ng event using their phone. So, I think pwede naman siya, pwede naman natin hindi i-close yung doors for mobile photography added to journalism events ng that. Ayun.
Thank you so much po. Another question. What mobile phone, siguro brand or anong phone ba ang tinutukoy dito, are preferred in mobile photography?
Yun. Personally, iPhone for me. Kasi gusto ko yung portrait mode ng iPhone. Pero, kagaya nga ng sinasabi ko kanina, kung hindi naman natin afford, kung hindi naman natin kaya na instant na meron tayong ganitong klaseng phone, pwedeng, pwedeng kung ano na lang yung meron ka. Ang gawin mo na lang is aralin mo yung features ng phone mo, nood ka sa YouTube ng mga tips kung paano magagamit yung mga features ng camera mo. Kasi nga mahirap din at mahal din naman talaga ang Apple brand. At isa pa sa gusto ko rin brand is Oppo. Ayan. Kahit parang sinasabi ng iba na ginaya siya sa iPhone. Maganda rin yung camera ng Oppo. Actually, yung mga pictures kanina, yung mga unang pictures doon ay ginamit ko ay Oppo A37. Pero sobrang luma na ng brand na yun. Phase out na yata yun. Ayun. Pero kahit anong camera, for me, kahit anong camera, sabi ko nga kanina, wala naman yan sa gear. Nasa photographer yan. Gagalingan mo lang mag-conceptualize. Gagalingan mo lang mag-appreciate ng mga bagay-bagay.
Thank you so much po. Tsaka yung nabanggit po ninyo, Miss Amari, kanina, no, na the best camera is the camera that you have when you need it.
Yes,
So,
yes po. Very
ayan.
true.
Ayan. So, another question po, siguro we can entertain last two questions. So, for those na gusto pang mag-send, send po tayo or you can raise your hand then. From Christian Balmori, paano ba marereduce yung noise sa iPhone? Kasi kapag nag-zoom ako, may noise or yung grainy po.
Okay po. Pwede niyo pong gawin kung hindi ko alam kung possible to sa iPhone kasi yung mga kapatid ko iPhone users po sila. And ang ginagawa nila, binababa nila yung ISO. Kasi minsan pag sobrang liwanag, mas nagiging pixelated. Pag naman sobrang dilim, mas nagiging pixelated. Pero, para mabawasan yung noise, tingin ko, lumapit ka dun sa subject para hindi siya ma-noise or grainy.
Ayan. So, lapit po tayo sa subject. By the way, no, meron tayong photo sharing dito na baka gustong salihan ng ating participants. Kung may encourage kayong mag-photo walk din, gaya ng ginagawa ng ating resource person, baka pwede po ninyong gawin din. And share with us yung pictures. Ano, you can tag us at Ugnay ng Pahinungod UPOU and use the hashtags hashtag Kaya SRTS and hashtag Kaya Mobile Photography. Ayan. So
Yes po.
siguro one last question na po, Miss Amari, ay when we do mobile photography, siguro yung photo walks din po, ano po ba yung mga possible challenges na pwede namin makaharap, especially when we interact with dun po sa nabanggit nyo na living things, ganyan. Ano po ba yung mga pwede namin i-expect? Ayan.
Ayun. Kapag ka nagpo-photo, usually, gusto ko talaga ay mag-isa ako para mas nakikita ko yung mga possible subjects na gusto kong kunan. Kasi minsan parang pag may kasama ko, parang need ko siya i-entertain. So parang, for me lang naman, parang nababawasan yung ideas ko. Ang isa pang challenges na naranasan ko nung unang beses kong ginawa yan ay may mga tao na titingin sa'yo. Bawa, nagpipicture ka, nakatapat yung camera mo. Tapos ngingiti sila. So parang inaano nila na, wala, pinipicturean ako, smile tayo, ganun. So mas maganda, hindi sila aware na pinipicturean mo sila. And after that, pwede mo silang i-inform na, hello, pinicturean kita, pwede ba itong ma-post sa social media, pwede i-process, ganyan. Tapos, dati, nung marami pa akong time, marami talagang time, lumalabas ako pag umaga, yung 5:30 a.m. Inaabangan ko talaga yung sunrise. Kasi nga, natutunan ko dun sa napanood ko sa National Geography na mas maganda mag-take ng photos before sunrise. So, lumalabas ako ng 5:30 to 6 a.m. Tapos sa hapon din, ng ganun din oras. So, mas marami akong nakikitang possible subjects. Mga nagja-jogging, mga aso na kasama sa pagja-jogging, mga nagpo-put up ng tindahan. Ayun. And kapag hapon naman yung mga nagko-commute, mga umuwi. Ganun. So, ayun. Tapos, hindi ako masyadong nag-e-effort na sobrang mag-isip na kung anong subject ang kukunin mo. Kasi, for me, everything can be your subject. Kahit pa sobrang simple lang yan, kahit basura. Na-try ko na mag-picture ng basura. Tapos, na-try ko na rin mag-picture ng manibela. So, parang okay din naman. Ayun. Depende sa nagpipicture talaga. So, if you appreciate things like that, pwede mo silang kunan. And kung gusto mo naman more on people, more on faces, more on emotions, edi kunan mo is mga tao. Pero huwag niyo kakalimutan na i-inform niyo sila na pinicturean niyo sila. Kasi meron yatang law, hindi, nalimutan ko lang kung ano number. Merong law yung ganun, na kapag pinicturean mo sila ng walang consent. So, hindi ko rin alam kasi parang feeling ko introvert ako, nahiya akong lumapit sa mga tao. Pero dahil nga sa pag-photo, at para legal yung ginagawa ko, nilalapitan ko sila. Nilapitan ko sila. Na, hello po, picturean ko po kayo. Pwede po nga itong nga-post sa social media. Mapayag naman sila. Lalo na yung mga hindi aware pa sa social media. Yan, okay lang sa kanila.
Ayun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much po, Miss Amery, for those tips and for reminding us na kapag magpipicture po ng ibang tao, consent is the key. Ayan. Meron ding isa palang tanong kanina, no, na tinatanong niya kung pwede bang makakuha ng copy ng presentation deck. So we would like to inform everyone here in sa Zoom na this webinar is being recorded and we will upload yung recorded version sa Kaya website. So Kaya website, isa siyang mental wellness na website where all of the episodes ng Stress Reduction Technique series ay uploaded. So if you want to balikan yung mga episodes namin, including this mobile photography workshop, please visit kaya.upou.edu.ph. Ayan. Thank you so much po ulit, Miss Amery, for entertaining the questions that our participants have. And to formally extend our gratitude to our invited resource person, we would like to invite Miss Amery again to the Zoom stage because we will be awarding the Certificate of Appreciation. So allow me to read the citation or the content of the certificate. University of the Philippines Open University, ugnay ng Pahinungod UPOU and Office of Public Affairs, award the Certificate of Appreciation to Ana Marie C. Guria for her selfless volunteer work to share time and expertise as resource speaker during the workshop Stress Reduction Technique Series Episode 4, Mobile Photography, held on 26th of November 2024 via Zoom. Given this 26th day of November 2024 at UP Open University, Los Baños, Laguna. Signed by the Director of Ugnay ng Pahinungod UPOU, Queenie Rojas Redulme, and Director of UPOU Office of Public Affairs, Myra C. Almadia. Ayan. Photo op po tayo with the resource person and her certificate. Thank you so much po, Ate Jack, and for everyone for turning on their cameras. Ngayon, to formally conclude today's webinar, we would like to call on the Director of the UPOU Office of Public Affairs, Director Myra C. Almudiel, to deliver her closing remarks.
Right. Thank you, Nat. So, good morning, everyone. So, on behalf of the Ugnay ng Pahinungod and Office of Public Affairs, we would like to thank all of you for your time and very active participation in this workshop. Ang daming mga tanong, ano. So, I'm sure si Amari ay may aabang dyan mamaya sa lunch break para may magtanong pa. So, thank you, Miss Amari, for sharing your personal experiences and yung mga tips. Napakagaganda ng mga tips na binigay mo. Sa Office of Public Affairs po, we always welcome opportunities to collaborate on initiatives that bring value to our community. That's why very excited po kami dito sa mobile photography workshop na collaborative workshop ng Pahinungod and OPA. So I'd like to thank the whole team ng Ugnay ng Pahinungod, especially kay Director Queenie for this very innovative idea and for inviting us to collaborate. The Office of Public Affairs is fully committed to supporting collaborative initiatives like this. So thank you for your continued support in making UPOU not just a place of learning but also a place of care and community. So let's keep working together po to create more spaces that where we can all thrive, connect, and grow. So thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you po sa mga next workshops na gagawin pa ng Pahinungod at ng OPA. Salamat po.
Thank you so much, Director Myra, for those words. Ayan, looking forward then for more initiatives para sa ating participants. Ayan. So, the modern technology awarded us with an access to mobile photography. Kung noon, gaya nga ng nasabi ni Miss Amari, ang mga may DSLR, so mga high-tech na cameras na pwedeng mag-photography, ngayon lahat tayo ay pwede na maging photographer kung bibigyan natin ng effort aralin ang skills na ito. Photography is an effective and a strategic hobby and skill to learn because we can use photography sa school, work, leisure, and especially for reducing and managing stress. Just like what Karl Lagerfeld said, what I like about photographs is that they capture a moment that's gone forever, impossible to reproduce. So photos can be a great way to document and immortalize moments like Christmas, graduation, and other special events. So we hope that you learned a new technique or two from today's webinar. We wish that you will appreciate photography as a new hobby that can relieve your stress from work or other responsibilities in life. So this has been Naj Onlayao, your host for the 4th episode of SRTS Mobile Photography Workshop, encouraging you to find hobbies and learn skills to relieve stress. Mapagpalayang araw po at maraming salamat.